So it's 6 a.m. and Late starts up at the shelter fixing his breakfast, and I've had mine and taking care of my other morning business. Here's the Durston, and the sun, as you might be able to tell, is just starting to come up. So we're going to try to be out of here by 7-ish, and we have what should be a pretty nice day, mostly downhill, smooth trail into Pine Furnace and the Iron Masters Hostel and the Appalachian Trail Museum. So, good morning. Hope you're all having a nice start to your day as well. Hey there. How y'all doing this fine morning? As you can see, just a half an hour or so later, we're breaking camp and the sun is up, and it's supposed to be a pretty nice, easy day. So should warm up a little bit. It should not be quite so dang cold today, but it was freezing last night. I mean, my little thermostat in my tent registered 25 degrees or less. It's a little. So I slept, but I can't say it was a real restful night. So I'll be happy to be in a hostel tonight in a bunk bed and get a warm meal and all that kind of good stuff. So, but we're about an hour in to the day, and we've gone 2.4 miles already. How you feeling, Late Start?
Feel good.
Yeah.
Warm. Cold night last night.
Yeah, it was. I think we were down to like 25 or something. Woof. So, unfortunately, there's not really much video to shoot because this is kind of a wasteland. There is some kind of a infestation, looks like to us, that is just taking apart the trees in this area. Something awful. So I was saying on the other video, we've been walking through an area that looks like it's blighted yesterday, but today is even much more dramatic. Come through a section here where honestly I don't see anything standing alive, and looks like Armageddon or something. This is sad. So at mile 11:01.7, we have come across the very first blowdown in Pennsylvania, I think. That's how good a job the PATC does. So we just took a break at about the 5-mile mark. We got about 4.6 left. It is almost all downhill, and it looks like it is all pretty smooth. And the vegetation in this area seems like it might be recovering a little bit from whatever that blight is. That is the first flowering tree we've seen. That's how early we were out this year. Woohoo! This is the halfway point from 1997 or something, but still roughly the halfway point on the Appalachian Trail. Well, it's not the halfway point for me yet, but I'm probably 750 miles or so in. So halfway. Springer and Katahdin. This is about 11:05 on the trail, heading into Pine Grove Furnace and the Iron Masters Hostel. This Biscuit and Late Start up there. So we made it to the Pine Grove Furnace and the Iron Masters Mansion Hostel, and we did the self check-in process, and now we're getting ready to go out and get some tacos, it sounds like, or something. We met a local guy who's a former AT thru hiker, and Biscuit, who's offering trail angel us and help us out with some resupply issues and some food, so that'll be fun.
And we got in early. I mean, it was still a 10-mile hike today, but we covered it in 5.5 hours. So it was still a pretty good hike. We probably averaged 1.8 or 2 miles an hour today, and it was easy turf. So this is a nice hike coming down from Birch Shelters to Pine Grove Furnace. And so now I'm just trying to warm up out here in the sunshine. Waiting on these two hiking buddies to come on out here. This is the Pine Grove Furnace General Store, which is not open right now. So shucks, we won't be able to do the half-gallon challenge. We won't be able to do the half-gallon challenge. Oh shucks. So this is one of the main eating areas and the entryway of the Iron Masters Mansion and Hostel. And this is at Pine Grove Furnace. There's a self-registration process that Late Star and I have been through, and they had my resupply box behind the counter. But part of the Pine Grove Furnace experience is you eat a half a gallon of ice cream. It's called the half-gallon challenge because this is very near the halfway point in the Appalachian Trail. And I'm not going to eat a half a gallon of ice cream ever. But they're closed today, so I got some from a convenience store near where we got lunch. So I am going to have, this is my version of the half-gallon challenge. It's just a little pint of chocolate ice cream, but it is Hershey's, and we're in Pennsylvania, so it's some pretty good chocolatey ice cream. And I also got some chocolate milk, which is another one of my new town foods favorites. So I'm having kind of a chocolate after lunch dessert / snack here while I wait to put my laundry in here in a minute. I've got to take care of my resupply and repack stuff. We're only here for one night, and then we hike out to a tent site that's about 10 miles away. And I want to take a shower and some things like that. But we got here very early, so it's not even, I don't think it's even 3 o'clock yet or 4. So the bunks look pretty good. So I've already picked out a bunk. But it's upstairs. I'll show you that maybe a little bit later. So after dinner, I went over to the Appalachian Trail Museum, where they have a set of historical displays about the evolution and development of the Appalachian Trail, and that includes the famous measuring wheel that Myron Avery hiked much of the trail with, that we've all seen in pictures, and that is the actual wheel there. And then they have some other things about individual hikers, folks we all know, SB and Grandma Gatewood, and just a lot of the early people who really created the through hiking hobby and the long distance hiking that we all enjoy, and some of their kit actually, which I found really kind of interesting. That's Grandma Gatewood, and they even have the knapsack that she sewed herself and one of her kids' shoes. So these very interesting displays. Ed Garvey and his typewriter and some things, and then they have a little bit of a collection of information about the folks that really created, again, the long distance hiking hobby. And then they've also disassembled out from the field and reassembled an actual AT shelter, which I didn't do a good job of capturing here, but that's an actual shelter that they moved, and it was named after the first man who ever through hiked the Appalachian Trail, Mr. Schaefer, who had to walk the war off. And they've also relocated Mackay's entire Sky Parlor study, where he did a lot of writing about the Appalachian Trail, and where he and Avery sort of conspired together for a while and then against one another at some points in the development of the trail originally back in the 20s and 30s. So all in all, I thought it was a really nice display, and I learned a lot about the history of the trail throughout it. It's not a very big museum, and this is just one floor, but there's another floor that has more contemporary information and books you can read and some other things like that, souvenirs, stuff like that. That is the Appalachian Trail Museum, and I was just lucky enough to get a little private tour by a couple ladies who were working there, because technically it's only open on the weekends at this time of year, but they were in there doing some stuff, and they let me look at some of the exhibits and kind of guided me through it real quick. And it's a wonderful little museum. And I think for dinner I'm just going to have something out of my food bag. after I get done sorting through my food bag and folding my laundry. But there's the Iron Masters Mansion. I didn't show you much more about the Iron Masters Mansion Hostel because frankly, the building itself is in a fairly poor state of repair. The staff was wonderful and helpful, and the bunk room was comfortable enough, but the plumbing system was in bad enough shape that I couldn't even get a shower. In general, there was a state of disrepair that suggests that the upper management of this facility needs to invest some time and money in getting it into better shape.